They tried to hide it. They deleted it within minutes. But it was already too late. The internet had seen everything. And what was buried inside that press release just changed the entire conversation around one of NASCAR's most storied organizations. This is not a rumor. This is not speculation. This is a full-blown crisis unfolding in real time inside Hendrick Motorsports. And it all started with one driver, one diagnosis, and one moment at Circuit of the Americas that nobody saw coming. Alex Bowman was mid-race at the Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas on March 1st, 2026. Everything looked normal from the outside. The number 48 Allgaier Chevrolet was running, the team was communicating, and there was nothing on the surface to suggest what was about to happen. Then, somewhere around laps 71 and 95, something changed inside that car. Bowman started experiencing vertigo. Let that sink in for a second. Vertigo is not just feeling dizzy or a little off. At nearly 200 miles per hour, vertigo means your balance is completely destroyed. Your depth perception disappears. Your split-second judgment, the thing that keeps a driver alive on track, becomes completely unreliable. Every decision a driver makes at that speed depends on their body giving them accurate information. Vertigo rips all of that away. That is not a condition you manage through. That is a condition you stop for. Bowman had to exit the number 48 car mid-race. Drivers do not just climb out of a race car mid-race unless something is seriously wrong. Full stop. Myatt Snider jumped in to finish the race, his first ever laps in a Cup Series car. And just like that, one of Hendrick's 4 full-time entries was running with a substitute driver, with no timeline and no clear answers. When the next race weekend came around at Phoenix Raceway, fans and analysts assumed this would be a one-race situation. Bowman would rest, get cleared, and be back behind the wheel. That is not what happened. Bowman was diagnosed with vertigo midweek and was not medically cleared to race at Phoenix. Hendrick Motorsports had to scramble fast, and they called in Anthony Alfredo, their simulation driver, to fill the seat on short notice. Stepping into a top-tier Cup Series car with no preparation time, at a track you have not run in years, is one of the most difficult asks in professional motorsport. The result reflected exactly how tough that situation was. Alfredo finished 33rd in the Straight Talk Wireless 500. He was actually running in 7th place when he was collected in a crash on lap 217, which ended his day entirely. The number 48 looked completely out of sync the entire weekend. No rhythm, no pace, no momentum. And after Phoenix, there was still no clear timeline for Bowman's return. That is the moment uncertainty turned into something much heavier. Here is where this story stops being a straightforward injury update and becomes something else entirely. Hendrick Motorsports posted what appeared to be a routine press release. Race notes, paint schemes for the upcoming weekend, standard organizational content. But buried inside that release was one line that nobody was supposed to see yet. Justin Allgaier will drive the number 48 Allgaier Chevrolet. The page was deleted within minutes, but it was already too late. Fans had seen it. Screenshots had been taken. Social media spread it instantly across every platform. Within hours, it was not a rumor anymore. It was effectively confirmed before the official announcement even went out. Hendrick Motorsports then made it fully official. Justin Allgaier would drive the number 48 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. They tried to contain it. They couldn't. The internet never forgets. This is not a desperation move. This is a calculated decision by one of the most organized teams in NASCAR, and the reasoning behind it matters. Justin Allgaier is 39 years old and brings 84-plus Cup Series starts into this situation. He is the 2024 NASCAR Xfinity Series Champion, and he arrived at Las Vegas riding the momentum of a win at Phoenix Raceway just one weekend earlier. His connection to the Hendrick organization runs deep. He competes full-time for JR Motorsports, the Hendrick-affiliated team, in the number 7 Chevrolet. This is also not the first time Allgaier has been trusted to fill a Hendrick seat in a critical moment. He substituted for Jimmy Johnson in the 2020 Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis. He filled in for Kyle Larson in the 2024 Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, where he finished 13th. These are not small moments. These are high-pressure races at marquee events, and Allgaier handled them. At Las Vegas, Allgaier finished 25th in the Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube. Not a standout result, but the car came home clean. No crashes, no disasters, no points hemorrhage worse than necessary. And now Hendrick has confirmed he will be back in the number 48 for Darlington Raceway, Martinsville Speedway, and Bristol Motor Speedway, at minimum 3 more races. What Hendrick needs from Allgaier right now is specific. Clean laps, no crashes, stop the bleeding. This is not about winning right now. This is about keeping the number 48 from becoming a disaster story. Here is the part that should genuinely concern every Hendrick Motorsports and Alex Bowman fan right now. Bowman currently sits 36th in the Cup Series standings. He is 232 points behind leader Tyler Reddick. He is 94 points behind Shane Van Gisbergen, Daniel Suarez, and A.J. Allmendinger, who are all tied for 16th place, the final playoff position. The chase returns as NASCAR's postseason format in 2026, and the top 16 drivers in regular season standings make the playoffs. That math is brutal. Every race Bowman misses is a race where points are not being scored toward his own total. Allgaier will score points in the number 48, but those points belong to Allgaier, not Bowman. The gap to the playoff cut line grows every single weekend. Missing Darlington, Martinsville, and Bristol, 3 more confirmed absences on top of Phoenix and Las Vegas, makes the road back almost impossibly steep. Hendrick Motorsports is built around 4 elite cars competing at the highest level every single week. Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, and William Byron are all expected to contend for wins and run deep into the playoffs. The number 48 becoming an unpredictable variable every weekend creates instability that affects the entire operation. In a season where every single point matters, this kind of instability can quietly cost you everything. Bowman is 32 years old, from Tucson, Arizona. He has 8 wins, 46 top 5s, and 112 top 10s across 364 career Cup Series starts over 12 seasons. His best championship finish was 6th in 2020, and he has been a full-time Hendrick driver since 2018. He made the 2025 postseason and finished 13th in the standings. Real, meaningful momentum heading into this year. And Vertigo is not something you rush. Jeff Andrews, president and general manager of Hendrick Motorsports, made the team's position completely clear. Alex continues to experience symptoms, so we are following the guidance of the medical team and giving him the time he needs to recover. We see how hard he's working to get back behind the wheel, and we're looking forward to his return when he's medically cleared. Everyone at Hendrick Motorsports is 100% behind Alex. Bowman was also scheduled to compete in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race for JR Motorsports in the number 88 Chevrolet at Darlington on Saturday. He cannot do that either. Kyle Larson, who won in that same car at Las Vegas last weekend, will substitute for him there too. Allgaier is confirmed for Darlington, Martinsville, and Bristol. After those 3 races, everything is unknown. There is no announced return date for Bowman. There is no indication that symptoms have fully cleared. The medical team is guiding the process, and the team has made clear they will not rush a decision that involves a driver operating a vehicle at nearly 200 miles per hour. The question that matters most is simple. At what point does a multi-race absence stop being a setback and start being a season-defining event? Bowman is already 36th in the standings. Every week that passes without him in that car makes the gap to the playoff cut line wider and the math harder to work out. Darlington Raceway is the immediate next test, a track with a reputation that demands precision, patience, and experience. It punishes mistakes the way few tracks in NASCAR can. It is exactly the kind of place that will show what Allgaier can actually do in this role over an extended stretch. The next 2 or 3 weeks are going to tell us everything about where this season is really headed for that 48 car. This situation started as a mid-race medical issue on March 1st. It has now become a multi-week absence, a leaked press release, a deleted web page, a social media explosion, and one of the most significant ongoing storylines of the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series season.